This is Scott Spratt from ProFootballFocus.com Fantasy, and this is another Fantasy Slam. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of turnover at the running back position, both because of injuries and because of guys that have just earned the starting job. As such, especially in shallow leagues where every roster spot is important, I think it's important to sort of assess these guys on how they stand the rest of the season so you can know how to spend your hard-earned roster spots. I'm just going to go in order. First is Jerick McKinnon. McKinnon has established himself as a dominant runner after just 2 starts in Minnesota. He's got 2.92 yards after contact per attempt, which trails only Chris Ivory among qualified backs. I think McKinnon is here to stay. I view him as a running back run the rest of the season, so if he's still out there in your league, definitely pick him up. Number 2 is Shane Vereen. Vereen has 31 targets on the season, which is 5th most among running backs, but that's kind of less than you would expect, especially given the production he had last year in half of the season. But I think Stevan Ridley's injury really opens the door for Vereen. Vereen got most of the touches last week for the Patriots, and so seems like a safe running back 2 option the rest of the way this season. Number 3, I have Branden Oliver. Oliver has 2.72 yards after contact per attempt, which is 7th best among qualified backs. He also has 2.25 yards per route run, which is 3rd best among qualified backs. I think it's his receiving skills that are going to keep him a valuable running back, even after Ryan Matthews returns. And Oliver's upside is much more, because he's produced like a running back 1 in his time as the starter there in San Diego. Number 4, I have Ronnie Hillman. Hillman has obviously done well, and he may have taken over the starting job from Monte Ball in Denver, but Hillman only has 1.84 yards after contact per attempt, 4th lowest among qualified backs. We know what Hillman is. He's an undersized back who has home run ability, but I question whether he's going to be able to stay healthy with the full workload, and I think that really the Denver offense is what makes it such a favorable situation for any running back. His numbers look really strong, but I'm not sure he's distanced himself, which is why I have him behind some of those other backs. Number 5, Tre Mason in St. Louis. Mason is really an intriguing player who came onto the scene last week in a surprise move there. Zach Stacy didn't get any touches at all. Mason is a rookie, so he's got a bright future, but he's only 207 pounds. That's kind of tough for me to expect the 18 carries that he got here every week. So that's my reservation, but Mason is definitely worth picking up in every format. Number 6, Denard Robinson is even smaller at 199 pounds. And while he had 127 rushing yards, that was against Cleveland this week, the 4th worst run defense in the league based on yardage. I'm skeptical that Robinson can keep that up over the full season. I think health will be a factor for him. Finally, number 7, it's both of the Bills' backup running backs, as their primary starters, C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson, are down. Spiller for the year, Jackson for probably about a month. People may be quick to go after both Anthony Dixon and Bryce Brown, but I'm a bit more pessimistic there. The Bills' schedule is really tough for them. They play at the Jets, they have a bye week, and then they host the Chiefs, go to the Dolphins, and then host the Jets over the next 5 weeks. By then, Fred Jackson will be back, and there's not an enticing matchup anytime. Plus, the fact that both Dixon and Brown are in the mix means that there's no certainty there as to which player will be the starter, and the Bills' offense hasn't supported 2 running backs this season in fantasy the way it previously had. As such, I think they're the worst option of the set. For Pro Football Focus Fantasy, this is Scott Spratt.